In this video, we're going to cover the direct mail marketing strategy that has been driving a restaurant I know over 20 new customers every month like clockwork for the past 5 years. The best part about this strategy is that it costs less than $200 per month for those 24 new customers per month that restaurant is getting. That means that they're spending less than $10 per customer to acquire them in a way that they're almost guaranteed to become regulars because of the way they're targeting them. When I first heard of restaurants spending money doing direct mail, I didn't think it was going to work very well because direct mail has been around since the 1800s. So the idea that it would still be an effective way for restaurants to get new customers hundreds of years later felt wrong to me. I'd seen a few restaurants try it and not really see good results. So I wrote it off as not being a good idea for years. But I could not have been more wrong. And I realized that I was wrong when Scott Anthony told me how he was making it work. Scott is the brilliant owner of Punxsutawney Pizza in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. And when he started in the restaurant world 29 years ago, he was really excited to be in the pizza business because he felt that nobody in his town was doing pizza right. And he was right about that. He took over a failing pizza place and started crushing it from the very beginning, nailing his recipe, learning everything he could about restaurant operations, and executing well. But then he saw the competitive landscape get way more competitive over the years. Because in his town, Punxsutawney, which only has a population of 5,700 people, 3 major pizza franchises opened up. And in addition, over 10 different independent pizzerias opened up. So 12 new pizza places opened in a town of less than 6,000 people. And his market became 4 times more competitive than the national average for pizzerias. Pizzerias are already pretty competitive on average. So he was in this very scary position because there was so much competition for so few customers. So it was no longer enough for him to just be amazing at providing great pizza. He also needed to become amazing at marketing as an operator. So he tried all sorts of different things, and eventually he invented this brilliant strategy that, like I mentioned earlier, is driving him over 20 new customers every month like clockwork by using direct mail. And over the years, it's gotten him over 500 new customers that have actually become regulars and driven him hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales for less than $10,000 in total cost. The results he is seeing are epic, to say the least. They've led him to being a top performer in the pizza community, increasing his sales by over 600% since he took over the pizza place in his town. And he is now, 20 years later, a multi-award-winning operator and leader in the pizza world. He was gracious enough to share this strategy with us because he's super passionate about helping the broader pizza community as a way of giving back. So if you're interested in asking him questions about this strategy or having him help you execute a similar strategy, he's also a marketing consultant to lots of pizzerias, and you can find him at Owner.com. He's great. Anyway, here's how his strategy works without further ado. What Scott Anthony does is he partners with a direct mail company called Moving Targets, and they pull a list every month of everybody that's moved into his zip codes around his pizzeria. Then he filters the list a few different ways to make sure that the people that he sends mail to are the best fits of people with the highest likelihood of becoming regulars. What I mean by that is he first filters for people that moved into his town from a zip code outside of town to make sure it wasn't just people that were changing addresses within town. That way, he could make sure that they didn't already have a go-to pizza place because they, by definition of moving from out of town, are new to town, so they won't have go-to restaurants. Then the second filter he uses is he looks for families rather than single people because they have a higher check size and they tend to order for the whole family. They also have a higher income on average. That's the third filter he uses, a minimum household income of over $50,000 to make sure they are the type of people who can regularly afford to order his premium pizza rather than the people who just go for the cheapest option, which will always be Domino's or similar concepts. And then after having his direct mail company filter the marketing lists with those requirements, he sends all of those new people moving into his community, those families, a personalized letter that arrives less than 3 weeks after they move in. That letter welcomes them to the community and then gives them an offer that is too good to resist. At the top of the letter, it says, "Welcome to the neighborhood," and it has pictures of his mouth-watering food. Actually, I'll just put it on screen for you here so that you can see what I mean. See guys, I'm a real YouTuber now. I can put things on screen. So you can see in this letter that it starts by addressing the customer by name and building authority, as well as a nice headline that I described earlier of "Welcome to the neighborhood." So it starts by saying, "Hello, John. I'm Scott Anthony, the owner of Punxsy Pizza, and I'd like to welcome you to the neighborhood. We've been serving traditional and gourmet Italian pizzas and specialty hoagies to our loyal friends in Punxsutawney and the surrounding area for many years. Our pizzalos have the experience and expertise to delight your taste buds. 4 times we have won Pennsylvania's Restaurant Neighborhood Award. The award celebrates and highlights the outstanding charitable service performed by restaurants." This is so perfectly executed. Scott is brilliant because he's building authority first as a top restaurant in that customer's new community before he makes his offer. Then he has an irresistible offer after he's built authority, where he says, "We hope you'll give us the opportunity to introduce ourselves and provide you with a great meal. Just use the attached gift certificate for 1 free medium pizza with unlimited toppings. All of us at Punxsy Pizza are excited for the chance to meet you." What's so brilliant about this offer is that the pizza on the menu for the medium size unlimited toppings is $17, and it has a relatively high food cost, probably around 30% of the $17 or $5 food cost. But because of the way Scott is targeting customers of only higher income families, that just moved into his town, he can be pretty sure that they're going to become regulars once they taste his food. That they're not just doing it for the deal and moving on, like those customers that we dread in the restaurant industry, but that they're really interested in becoming regulars eventually. Then his letter gives the customer more details on the restaurant, his menu, differentiators, and the most popular dishes that they have. Then he signs off with his name and he pens his signature at the bottom of the letter to make it feel more personalized to the customer. Personalization in this campaign is so key. It can't feel like it's coming from a corporation or a company if it's going to work this well. It has to feel like it's coming from a caring person who owns a business in the community of the person receiving the letter. Now let's walk through the numbers of the campaign. He sends less than 50 of these letters per month because there's less than 50 people who move into that town of Punxsutawney per month that meet his requirements. So they cost him well under $200 per month to send through Moving Targets, the mail company. I've heard great things about Moving Targets, by the way, but there's other mailing companies who can provide a similar service, like MailShark is one, or Our Town America, lots of good ones out there. Anyway, here's the crazy thing. On the letters he sends out, his redemption is over 80%. There's typically only around 30 new movers moving into his town each month, which means that of those 30, he gets around 24 of them every month, like clockwork, to redeem this offer. So let's say all in, including the service from the direct mail company, it costs him about $200 per month to send those 30 letters, and it gets him 24 new customers. That means that it costs him $8.33 on average in marketing to get each new customer. Now he does have a high food cost to factor in here as well, because he's giving away that free medium pizza with unlimited toppings. So let's say it has a 30% food cost on a $17 menu item, meaning it costs him $5 in food per customer to give away. Now that's $13.33 in total that he's spending to acquire these customers. But what's brilliant is that when he gives away the free medium pizza, these families also order other high profit margin items like appetizers, beverages, or desserts. His average check is well over $40, even on that first transaction. And the other items in the order, appetizers, beverages, and desserts, have a super low food cost and are almost pure profit margin. So he actually makes a few dollars on that first order. But the real money is made because now those people who just moved into his town love him, because he just gave them a free medium pizza to welcome them and an amazing experience. These customers weren't already loyal to another pizza place, so they then order from him a few times every month on average. Again, let's say his average check size is $40, which is actually low relative to what it is, and the average family orders twice per month. That means he makes $80 per month each, or $960 per year each, for these customers that he's buying for less than $15 all in. $15 to acquire a customer that's worth $960 $260 per year. And by the way, regulars of pizza places typically last over a year if you have good food. Over the years that he's been using it, it's acquired him over 500 trackable regular customers, which have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in his pizzeria for less than $10,000 in total cost. It's helped make him the most popular pizzeria in town, and he gets nationally recognized regularly as being one of the top performing independent pizzeria owners in the United States. It works so well because it uses three of the most powerful ideas in marketing. The first is that it has an irresistible offer with the most powerful word in the marketing language: free. Free medium pizza. This could work for any restaurant concept, but the offer has to be irresistible, like a free entree of high value to maximize redemption rate. Second, it has personalization. It addresses the customer by name, and Scott has his signature at the bottom. It's signed Scott Anthony. It's not from Punxsy Pizza, importantly. It's from the owner, Scott. That makes it so that customers pay more attention because people love to buy from and support and connect with other people in their community, not strangers. It also has a bunch of pictures of his most popular dishes included, which we all know in restaurants is important because people love to eat with their eyes. It's an absolutely amazing strategy that any restaurant can use now to acquire new regulars for a super low cost in a way that is actually trackable down to the penny, since they have to redeem that coupon or gift certificate, and then you can track those customers' spend over time to see your marketing return on investment, say over the course of a year. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, then I recommend clicking that subscribe button down below. My company, Owner.com, helps thousands of restaurants with growing their sales, and along the way, I constantly learn from genius restaurant operators like Scott about new strategies for growing restaurants. I make videos on those strategies and post them on this channel to share them with the broader restaurant community. So clicking subscribe will make sure you stay up to date with the latest and greatest in what's working to grow a restaurant business. If you enjoyed this video and want another amazing strategy for acquiring new customers but online, I highly recommend watching the video I recently posted on SEO for restaurants. That is the strategy to make sure your restaurant shows up at the top of Google and regularly leads to dozens of new customers finding restaurants per month for free. I'll put it to the right of me here so that you can click right to that video and watch it. In that video, I share real numbers from real restaurants, just like I did in this video, to give you full transparency on exactly what's working and how you can execute it in your restaurant. Hope to see you on future videos, and thank you for taking the time to watch this. Take care.